One of the consulting sessions that I was doing today, the gentleman happened to work at Nike, and he was talking about how he really wanted to get into sports marketing. Everybody's told him, you can't get into sports marketing. It's like 1 in a million. Nobody ever leaves these jobs. It's too competitive. It's not realistic. And yes, sports marketing is a very competitive field. But there are other positions in companies like Nike and Adidas, Converse, Puma, where you can kind of slip in and at some point get your foot in the door and then move on to a sports marketing position. In my one-on-one sessions after we get done, I put together an entire list of different jobs that potentially you could go into with the skill set that you have. And I list out jobs that you may not know exist because, as I've mentioned a million times, when I was in college or early in my professional career, and even when I started at Adidas, these jobs, I had no idea they existed. So I want to talk about a few that could be an entry-level way to get into sports marketing. One of the best ways to get your foot in the door and get into these coveted sports marketing jobs is going for a job that's within a product category. Or for brands that sponsor teams like collegiate teams, there's ways to work for the university or with the college athletic teams to kind of get your foot in the door that way. What's super important and something that I help my clients do is to look at their resume. As an outsider, I can see a lot of things that people can't see because most people don't give themselves enough credit of what they're actually doing and how they can finesse that and turn it into a transferable skill to the position that they want. For example, let's say you're a retail associate. You're not just interacting with consumers. If you're in any sort of retail management position, you're doing retail math, you're doing scheduling, you're doing product, you're doing ops. And the way that you word that on your resume can make or break if you want to get into this industry. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but there are ways to do this. Totally lost my train of thought. I want to go back to the sports marketing thing because I want to talk about a couple of these positions that I am sending him that I want him to look out for. Now, these can have different names depending on the brand, but they mean the same thing. The first one I want to talk about is athletic or teams coordinator. When you work for a brand and they sponsor a college team, let's say UCLA, just for an example. I don't know this to be true about UCLA. I'm just going to give you a hypothetical example. You have a person that is dedicated to making sure that the coaches are happy, that the products that all of the athletes need are available to them. This position covers so many different things. I remember a friend of mine who did it at Adidas, and it was mind-blowing how much they did. So for this position, my friend actually had to live on campus. Well, I don't know if he lived on campus, but he had to live in Indiana where Notre Dame is because he was responsible on Saturdays during football season to make sure that the athletes had everything they needed and that when they went out through the tunnel that they were wearing Adidas cleats. At the time, they were contractually obligated to wear Adidas. So when there was a student athlete who came out in Nike cleats, he had to pull the coach aside. I can't remember if it was the coach or the student athlete, but regardless, they had to tape up his shoes